Hello YouTube, back once again with the Legends of Tomorrow review. Sorry there's no episode 4 review, I was very sick that week, so quickly, what did I think of episode 4? That was a great episode of the show. I liked how it ended on a very dark cliffhanger with them actually not being, well, one, I liked the reveal that it turns out the craziest Soviets, scientist was trying to make a new firestorm and, for Vandal Savage. And I also like the fact that it did not end with them succeeding. It actually ended with half the team being captured. So here we are with episode 5, Failsafe, where it picks up where the last one left off. I can say this was another great episode of the show. I am really liking the show so far. I will never understand why this has such a lower score on Rotten Tomatoes than Gotham does. I mean, if it's F Gotham. But anyway, this episode though, well, first it starts off really cool, in which there's a cameo from Cisco, in which they're basically, mind torturing Dr. Stein to try to give them the formula for how to make a firestorm, and, unaware that he's half a firestorm, and, it was just cool to see Cisco. I was excited to see that. But besides this was a really good episode, as, all around for everyone, really. Basically, though, this episode, it was first there was the stuff inside the prison with Ray and Heatwave. That stuff was oh, and Dr. Stein. It was cool just seeing how what a badass Stein was. Refusing to break to give, no matter how much he was tortured, to give the formula to the Firestorm formula to the crazy spy. Also, though, while that's going on, there's all the stuff with Ray and Heatwave. That was really good, just seeing Ray try not being very accustomed to prison, because he's such a Boy Scout, being the most Boy Scout. I like the fact that even Floud said he was a friggin' Boy Scout this episode. I thought that was hilarious. But the scene though that ended in which they finally get the information out of Stein by torturing Ray and Heatwave in front of him, that was pretty effective, especially when they're about to start beating the crap out of they're gonna start beating to death Heatwave, but then Ray offers himself up instead. That was an effective scene. So while that was going on, though, there was the stuff with the rest of the group as they were trying to bust out Stein, because if they don't, they learn that in the future the Soviets will win the Cold War with an army of firestorms, I like the fact that they did bring up the question I would have asked. Why does not the suggestion come if they cannot get Stein out of the prison? Why don't they just kill him? Bad thing to say, but you know, worst comes to worst, you could just kill the guy. And they did bring this up, in which Rip Hunter just tells Sarah, look, we can't say him, we gotta shoot this guy. While this is going on, Snart was basically just saying, showing that he is a criminal with a code, just saying, no, you cannot kill your own teammates, that's wrong. We're all just pieces on a... Because you guys keep in mind, these people are insignificant in the future, and to Rip Hunter, they are somewhat just pieces on a chessboard, as Stein brings up, completely sacrificable for the greater good. So all that was going on. So yeah, then the prison break. So then they eventually go for the prison break, and while this is going on, the crazy Soviet scientist realizes that Stein is half of Heatwave, and it wants to merge with Heatwave Firestorm, and wants to merge with him to become a new Firestorm. So the prison break happens. All that happened. All of it was pretty good, except the only thing that was kind of annoying was when Jax basically has to cut the power, even though his leg is messed up. He has to do a long distance sprint. Just seeing him just like basically going like like not quitting, like as he basically has to limp his way to the off switch. I was kind of like, okay, this is kind of annoying. Why does this have to go on so long? But besides that, everything else, Sarah dealing with the idea that she knows even though I will say I really I think they're doing a good job just showing how this, with Sarah just showing, like, with her whole thing, how she's trying to deal with the fact she was an assassin for so long and now wants to be a hero, in which she basically had to deal with the idea: does she want to shoot? Does she want to shoot Stein or not when she has the clear shot on him and decides not to? I thought that was pretty effective. This was, and while that was all going on, that then seeing Snart going to grab Heatwave, Heatwave, and when just when Snart gets in there, when he just gives Ray his suit, even though Ray's passed out from getting the crap being beat to death with a sledgehammer, being almost beaten to death at least. Just basically Snart just gives him suit, just says, let's get out of here, Heatwave, and but then just seeing how Heatwave, Ray has grown on Heatwave and just says, no, I'm not leaving this guy. We are him being basically saying like he's part of our team and we are criminals with codes, and that was very nice when you just saw Heatwave grab refuse to leave Ray, instead just drag him out with him. I'll say this, I think one of the better things about the fact that this season will be shorter than both Flash and Arrow's first season, and the fact that this is an ensemble piece and can only give every character so much screen time, the fact that they had to go through character development rather quickly, I actually quite like. So all of that happened. Then there was a nice scene between Jax and Stein. Well, when Stein was merged with the crazy Soviet spy, and then Jax just went up to her / him, and then just said like, "Look, I know Stein, you're in there. Look, I know you can. I know I know all you've said, like trying to push me down, like it's just because you want to make sure I don't die." I understand that now. Please, I know you're stronger than this, and even though it's kind of cliche, it was just nice seeing Stein just being able to break apart from the Russian and him and Jax basically coming to terms with one another. I really like. So there was that. I really liked all that. That also the last big thing I liked this episode besides the ending. I'll get to that one sec. Well, two things actually. One, it was a really fun and satisfying scene. Just when basically they're dragging Heatwave dragging Ray out of prison with Snart, and then just like that crazy Soviet general, the evil Soviet general who's torturing him, Heatwave saying, "I will kill you," like when I get out of this, just throws him into a cell with the most violent prisoner. You can only assume this guy would just rip to shreds. That was very satisfying. So all that happened. Then finally there was the stuff with Rip Hunter, in which he encounters Savage once again, and Savage was actually somewhat creepy when he just said he just says, like, "Look, I have been for the past 10 years, I've been staring at the faces of your wife and son. I'm looking forward to killing them. I have them memorized in my mind now." And you really gotta wonder if this was the plot twist will be at the end, that it turns out, it's because of Rip Hunter himself, his wife and kid were killed. Who knows? My guess is that's what they're going for, at least. So all that happened. Anything else? And that was pretty much all the big things that happened until the very end. Oh, and yeah, that's all that happened to the end. The ending had a really great cliffhanger, though. It was an amazing cliffhanger, actually, in which they end up when they're basically just hanging on the ship for a job well done, saving the future from an army of firestorms. They basically end up being hit by like that bounty hunter time traveler guy, whatever his name is, who cares, and they crash land to Star City in the year, I think it was, they said 2046, and then the city seems to be in complete ruins, and then they're just walking up the street, and then it seems to be Oliver comes out with his with his hood on, and then Ray and Sarah just go up and just like, "Oliver, it's us, like, you know, like, I know it was a long time ago, but you told us to be legends," and then the camera turns, and then you see it's not Oliver, but somebody else with the green hood on, just pulls out a green arrow and just says, "I haven't heard of the legends," just pulls out an arrow and just fires it at them. That was an amazing way to close this episode. So excited for next week's episode because of that. So, yeah. Great episode. A lot happened, but still a great episode of Legends of Tomorrow. I will say this. I think that one of the better things about this show, besides I really like the ensemble cast, I like the fact that this show can keep switching back between being more tongue-in-cheek and more dark, like being a hybrid between Flash and Arrow's So I really like that. So YouTube, as always, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.